So I come from a background of fitness and coaching. Understanding myself and in return understanding the women I serve is something that has brought me massive success. This inward journey is what truly made me understand that the body isn't enough. You need to go a step further inward to understand what your mind is about, what your heart is about, what you want out of life. One of the most important things to ask yourself the right questions. For me, what really worked was, who am I really at my very core, and what function do I play in this world? Another crucial thing to understand external reality was nothing but a reflection of my internal emotional state. In order for me to create the type of life I want to experience external, all I had to do was truly find alignment within, find balance within. Self-doubt and a lack of confidence is the result of us not knowing who we are at our very core. When you start confronting the darkest, most painful parts of yourself, when you start integrating and healing the parts that hurt the most, I feel like we really get to connect to the most authentic, the purest part of who we are. When that alchemization from negative to positive happens, then self-doubt becomes self-assurance. Lack of confidence becomes confidence. Painful personal relationships have been my greatest teachers. These relationships, how painful they may be, are nothing but a reflection of the wounding we have within us. When an external party shows you a reflection which is painful for us, it's an opportunity for us to dig deeper within us in order for us to see what requires healing. The power now is in our hands to alchemize, to heal, to integrate our experience through the reflections we see in other people. Trauma is not exactly what has happened to us in the past. It has more to do with how we interpret and internalize that information. In our journey to heal trauma, it's a process that has less to do with doing and more to do with seeing. The first thing that is required is for us to look at the fear imprint, or in other words, our emotional state surrounding that experience. As we create a safe space for us to feel and see the trauma which is internalized within us, by virtue of witnessing it, it integrates and heals on its own. One of the most effective ways to be able to track your trauma, track your feelings and emotions, is to understand that we feel these emotions in our physical body. For an example, let's say you're anxious. Where do you feel your anxiety? Is it in your heart? Is it in your gut? And being able to track this on a day-to-day basis will create a solid foundation for you to do deeper work around trauma and wounding. What journaling really does is that it helps you put your complex emotions, ideas on paper, and it really helps you get perspective about yourself, about your current emotional state. When you walk barefoot, it really regulates your nervous system and really relaxes you. We are not living on Earth, we are part of Earth. So it's extremely important for us to connect with nature, walk barefoot, and really tap into that serenity and calmness which is readily available for us. When we create a practice of being able to observe our thoughts without attaching ourselves to it, we see that who we are and what our thoughts are two different things. And we no longer have to identify with our thoughts, with our problems, with our emotions. This practice in the long term will bring you the liberation, the peace that you desire. We as human beings are social creatures. We love to be seen, to be loved, to be understood and belong. So it's super important that we surround ourselves with the right type of people, the right type of support systems. When you truly understand yourself at that depth, and when you learn to value yourself, you naturally attract your tribe and people who truly see you for who you are. Okay, so I want to talk about a few things that you can practically apply on a day-to-day to improve your mental health by focusing on your physical health, becoming super intentional with your nutrition, your movement, supplementation, limiting screen time, and also adhering to the circadian rhythm, going to bed early, waking up early, along with getting at least 8 hours of sleep is super important. So another thing to keep in mind is to create an environment, a neat and tidy sanctuary-like home space, which truly complements you and inspires you to become your best self. We live in a world that is consumed by speed, intensity, recognition, achievement. So it's super important to redefine what success means to us and know that it's okay to slow down and pull your energy back and fill your own cup. Because only when you fill your own cup will you be able to tap into your true self and find lasting happiness. As we become adults, we can really draw inspiration from children and the way they're committed to having fun and being joyous without an agenda, without having goals. Bring out that childlike nature in your day-to-day living, because experiencing that frequency can be super healing. So I'm super glad that I was able to share my personal experience on the path of spirituality and mental well-being on AIA Voices. And I truly hope that this session was impactful and insightful and will help you tap into your true authenticity and to create the life that you want to experience. When we are a part of this material plane of existence in this world, it's extremely easy to get consumed by what we see as real. But when you are able to understand that there is something beyond what we perceive, life becomes extremely magical.